So like I've said before, influencers in Asian countries go just about as well together as anthrax and children, hard labor and pregnant women, dogs and chocolate. Essentially what I'm saying is that if you're a streamer and you're someone who likes to chronicle your adventures with your camera and you happen to find yourself in this part of the world, maybe just do it for fun and not for the purpose of entertaining anyone unless you're Speed. He gets a pass. But like, there's nothing stopping you guys from filming something and then making a joke about it once you leave. Trust me, if Logan Paul had waited till he got home to start making fun about what he saw, then there would actually be a Paul brother who we all don't universally hate. But unfortunately for the colorblind Maverick, he not only made jokes, but also wore pretty much the most inappropriate thing someone can wear when filming a dead body. Not saying there's an appropriate outfit for doing that, but him wearing that stupid Toy Story hat only made things worse. It's like PewDiePie's cat headphones. You'll never catch him wearing those again. But for today's video, things got a bit sexual. For like, now would be the perfect time to put "Gone Sexual" in your title and no one could say you're clickbaiting. But unfortunately for us, we all know who Bonnie Blue is. If you don't, then you probably don't know her by name and know her simply as the girl who slept with 1,000 guys in one day. I think I made a video on what she did. I do remember seeing a clip of her crying. It might have been the other girl who slept with 100 guys in one day, being like, people don't understand how stressful this is. And it's like, no shit, we don't. There are porn stars who don't understand what you're doing. But regardless, that is what she is known for doing and has continued to do that ever since. Not with 1,000 guys, but with multiple guys at the same time, you know what I mean? Even getting banned from Australia and Fiji for what they said was working without an appropriate visa. And I looked it up, and that's not some loophole they found just to kick her out. There are actually specific visas that sex workers have to get in order to work overseas, Australia being one of the places that allows that. However, she is not smart enough to find that out herself and instead got banned. She got banned. Now, because she doesn't just have sex with these guys for fun and instead uses them for her own monetary gain, she's not gonna do this in lawsuit country, a 10 hut. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know. The second someone sees their wiener go viral, they're gonna want some compensation. That's why you go and do this in countries whose male population is so desperate for sex with a Nordic-looking white woman that they will literally line up to have sex with her like this isn't just prostitution with extra steps. What she's doing is the sex version of Indian street food. It's gross, smelly, and unsanitary, but people still line up for it. And where is she going to have the masses line up next? Bali, baby! But before she went to Bali, she had stopped at a few other places as part of her Bang Bus tour. But now she is in Bali. But here's a video she posted on her TikTok, basically announcing that she was ready to fucking Skrillexberg.
Had a shower, gonna go get my nails done in 30 minutes. And straight after my nails, off to see the Bali Bang Bus version. It's just gonna be like a truck. Well, it's gonna be a blue truck and then I'm gonna paint Bonnie Blue on it. Can't quite get the exact camper van in Bali. Do have a really sweet idea for after I've finished using it.
All the dead people, you just put it in forward drive. We need to stop about here. No, a bit forward, Nick.
I can't currently find the truck. No one has door numbers. He's not gonna know that. Just picked up the Bonnie Blue Bang Bus in Bali. No aircon, why he's hanging out, what move to see it. Steering, brake questionable, doesn't have seat belts. Yeah.
Oh, the brakes work.
Now, to go from this to this is actually hilarious. No wonder she got arrested. You can't just park this somewhere and go to town on someone. You understand how many mosquitoes are in Bali? After the first guy, you're gonna be itching so bad you thought you caught something. Regardless, she's like, get the Skrillex ready because I'm making Bali my bitch. Not realizing that they have strict anti-pornography laws that criminalize production, distribution, and the consumption of pornographic content, punishable by heavy fines and long prison sentences. Now, not knowing about the sex worker visa, I was like, alright, yeah, who would even think to get one of those? Like, what? I thought I got arrested applying for one. But how are you not going to at least have someone on your team let you know that essentially all of Indonesia doesn't like porn? Especially when you bring 15 tourists to film it with you. Just in case the locals don't want to join in, you know what I mean? just in case the locals don't want to fuck. But here's a video of all the guys that were arrested with her leaving the jail, and as you can see, they're all covering their faces because every one of these guys is a fucking loser who agreed to fly all the way to Bali to have sex with one girl. The last guy is, I'm assuming, your camera guy who was like, I need to take a selfie to remember this moment. Meanwhile, this guy has a literal bag over his head and this guy's taking a fucking selfie. Read the room, dog. But obviously these guys are going to get released because they were just being used. As for Bonnie, she is facing up to 15 years in jail with fines up to 6 billion Bali coins, which is like $500,000. But obviously those are maximum penalties, and unless you did everything of what they're accusing you of doing, then you're most likely going to get a fraction of that. However, as we saw when Vitaly was arrested in a similar country, regardless of how severe the crime you committed was, they'll make you wait. I'm not sure how they go about treating women or if they have a soft spot for them, since she can probably buy all of Bali if she wanted, but just going based off history, she's in for a rude awakening that doesn't involve sex. No morning sex, no! Now she was actually arrested back on December 5th and was released already, but her passport was seized, which means she is stuck there until they decide to let her go. Which, just going based off what they found in her possession, doesn't seem like they're going to do that anytime soon. According to the New York Post, they found a large cache of items, including professional video cameras, mountains of contraceptives, and erectile drugs, were seized by police in Bali following a tip-off by concerned citizens. Yeah, police, they're about to have a fucking orgy in our neighborhood. But now it's not like she can say she was just there to enjoy the views and she just happened to bring 15 guys with her. She brought her entire setup and 15 guys to go with it. Those 15 guys were part of her setup. Like, the only way she can try and play this off now is if she tried to say she was making her own version of Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Now, we were just doing a sequel, but in Bali. Kevin Smith okayed it. He gave us the green light. Now, they even called her out for coming to Bali and doing this, being like, perhaps that is the reason she came here in the first place, because if something bad happened, as it has, she could be deported easily. But now that it's all over the media, the authorities might decide to first let the situation calm down and release her in January or February of next year. Well, if the authorities aren't fucking stupid, then they would have her wait in jail just like Vitaly is doing so that she doesn't just do this in another country. Like, as bad as it sounds, some of these Asian countries are actually retarded when it comes to handling a streamer that has broke the law. They either just deport them right away without anything bad happening to them, keep them for an extended period of time without anything happening to them, or in Johnny Somali's case, have their trial take so long that they just keep doing things that force them to add more charges, only prolonging the inevitable. I'm not even joking. Yeah, the title says 15 years in jail, or like she's facing time in jail. I don't know, I could put 3 different ones with 3 different titles now. But anyone who is saying that she is going to spend any time in jail or is in jail is lying. She is facing up to 15 years in jail. But according to Philip Delano, a managing partner at the PNB Immigration, if found guilty, Blue will probably be deported and banned from ever entering Indonesia again, rather than prosecuted and imprisoned. And it's like, yep, just like a retard would do. What the fuck is the point of letting someone who is a millionaire live in a country where rich people spend their vacations as a form of punishment? And they're like, have you ever been homesick? Just give her a couple months and she'll be begging us to leave. And I'm like, someone let the government know that I found a third place we can drop the bomb that wasn't dropped on Japan back in the good old days, you know what I mean? I found a spot where we can drop it, you know what I mean? But yeah, guys, getting arrested in an Asian country as a streamer is essentially like getting an extended vacation. Unless you just hate vacationing, there is no downside to it at all. Do not do anything that will get you arrested, though. That is common sense. Until tomorrow. Peace.